Sci-Fi.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to Real Life Sci-Fi. We're starting off the year a little weird without Wade. I'm Willie. We've got a couple guests with us today that, if you listen to the show, you are familiar with them. Timothy Pizza, he's been on the show a bunch of times. He's making some great electronic music right now. You can find his stuff, Sound Became Color. I'm working on a music video for him right now. It's going to come out very soon.
It's so
Uh,
good.
and then Blue Grimes out of the blue otbshirts.com. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks.
If you need shirts, talk to him. I've known him, I'd say, most of my life. We've had
It's because we're
a
old.
lot of, yeah, we've had a lot of late night conversations, and we could go months without talking to each other and jump right back into a conversation. So that's what we got going on tonight. Real quick, what are your guys' relationship with the paranormal these days?
I haven't had. I just moved. I was trying to feel out some haunted vibes, and I haven't had any on the at the new place.
Blue, what's your relationship with the paranormal these days?
I don't think anything really has changed a lot, but just 2 nights ago, I could have died. I was watching a movie downstairs in the basement, and I've been drinking quite a bit. And it was about 1 a.m. in the morning, and our front ring camera went off. We have a ring doorbell, and then we have a ring camera over the driveway, and then we have a ring camera in the backyard. And there's this neighborhood dog that sets it off constantly. For some reason, my gut told me I should look at it, and I never do when it's that late because it's always that dog every time. And I looked at it, and I stopped the movie. All I saw on the camera was, because it was still live recording, so I went to the live shot, and it was a guy walking away from my truck parked in the
Oh,
driveway.
creepy.
And we've had, break-ins here and there. And I had a lot of liquid courage, and most off I was just pissed off. I was really mad.
The fuck are you doing?
Yeah. And so I just jumped up and ran out the front door. I ran upstairs and ran out the front door in my socks. And I ran down. I saw him. He went left out of the driveway when he was walking. And I ran that way, and I went 2 houses down, and he was knee deep, like all the way into this car in our neighbor's driveway, rummaging through. You could just see a flashlight, and you see his ass sticking out of the driver's side door.
Oh,
So I grabbed my phone out of my pocket and held it up to my ear, and I go, "Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. He's in another car." And then I said, "I'm at 95th." I gave my address. You could hear him in the car. He goes, "Oh shit, man!" And then he he jumped out, and he turned around, and he pointed a flashlight at me, and that's when it like time just stopped, and I'm like, "Oh, that was the dumbest thing. Like, this guy's gonna shoot me. Like, I'll be dead." And he obviously didn't, and he just goes, "Oh shit, man!" He said it again. And then he just took off running down the street. It was like you could draw it as a cartoon. That's what it looked like. His arms were like waving in the air, and he didn't run on the sidewalk. He ran down the middle of the street, and he was just going, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," running down the middle of the street. And then I went and woke the neighbors up and brought them out. We looked through their car and stuff, and he didn't get anything. But that's my segue into the supernatural, I guess. That's as close as I've come to like even thinking about anything supernatural.
oh
I
man,
Yeah, I mean, that was so stupid, so stupid.
dude, I don't know. It's weird to confront anyone. Like we get a bunch of package thieves to live in an apartment, and I
Mm.
I heard something. And I went outside, and I was like, and I saw the guy had a package, and I was like, well, if it's not mine, I'm not going to fight this guy over somebody's like drain clog plastic thing that they bought, that's getting stolen. And I was just
Right.
like, I was just said, get the fuck out of here. And he took off, you know what I mean? And that's fine. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want people to think that it's okay. Like my bikes just got stolen last week, and they had cutters, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I've had so many things stolen here. And at any rate, yeah, it's like, dude, I don't want to confront anyone because in that
Mm.
moment, I mean, you did the best thing because instead of you stopping him, he would have confronted you because you're in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. It's so funny. He's like, oh shit, the cops are coming. I need to
I,
go.
I think that's probably what he thought, but I don't know. You think about that stuff after the fact, right? And run it through your head so many times. And I wish I would have snuck up on him. I wish I would have called the cops and then snuck up on him. And because I think he would have just stayed in there for a few minutes. digging around, but I was talking to Wade about it, and he's like, well, out here, he said the cops in LA, he said the cops may not come showing up
No,
for
no, they're
2 hours, or at all. So
Yeah, they won't come. In
yeah,
Oakland, they won't come.
that's amazing. That's crazy. I don't know what it's like here, but I assume it's probably would be a while before they got here.
dude.
I think it's against the law
my,
to chase them.
It probably is.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
In California, it is.
Yeah.
My older brother, Blue knows him. He got this speaker stolen out of his truck, and he was mad. So he got some fakies and put them in there, and was just sitting out every night watching to see somebody try to get his speakers again. He beat the shit out of the guy, and then went back in and just sat down and watched him. And I guess he's like, yeah, he laid there for like an hour.
Oh man.
Oh my god,
that's great.
that's funny. He couldn't do that out here. Anyways, let's jump into the wow scale. Wow scale.
Are you a Wade or are you a Willy?
Okay, question number 1, 3-parter. Do you believe in aliens? If so, have they visited Earth? If so, have they visited Earth in the last 300 years?
I'll give 3 pretty solid no's.
What about you, Tim?
I say yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bigfoot.
No.
I want him to be real, but no.
Ghosts.
Oh man, Willie, you've heard a couple of my ghost stories. They're not mine, they're secondhand from my mom, but
Yeah.
they seem so legit to me, but I still, if it's black and white and I had to say yes or no, I would say no.
I have one ghost story. I've told it on the podcast at least twice, but it's not something that I have felt before or since that one thing that happened.
What was it, Tim?
Unbeknownst to me, I got an apartment when I first moved to Oakland, and I guess the guy in there died in it before I moved in. Something was going on, and I was moving out, and then that's when weird shit started happening. I think he liked me there. I think he liked that I watched a lot of TV, and I think there was like, the place could never get warm. I don't remember what was going on that day, but I had all his mail. I had like this giant stack of his mail, and I was asking my fiance at the time, like, should I ditch this guy's mail, or should I call this person that keeps sending him letters asking what's going on? I was opening it, and I didn't want to get in trouble because you're not supposed to do that. But
Sure.
I got curious after a couple of years. So I wasn't allowed to smoke cigarettes on my balcony because kids played down in the courtyard and they didn't want them to smell it. So I was allowed to smoke in the place. So I would open the front door and smoke in the bathroom. And I'm sitting on the edge of the bathtub. And if you're ever sitting on the edge of the bathtub, the first thing you do is kind of like lean back and look in the bathtub, like behind the curtain, like it's just. So I leaned back and did that. And then when I looked forward, all 3 of the photos that were framed hanging on the wall were at my feet.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
I know,
like,
dude. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, and then I got the fuck out of there for like a day and a half, and then I went back, and it was still like just weird vibes. And then
Here,
I wrote
here
a
you go.
letter to.
I'm here.
I wrote a letter to the lady that had been asking what the fuck his deal was and why he had ghosted her, and then she wrote me
Literally.
back this. Yeah, she wrote me back this. I made up. He died, basically suffocated in his sleep because he was fat. And
Oh man.
I said that he died of something else to give him a little bit of dignity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But-
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I have no idea what I would do in that scenario. No idea.
It was weird as fuck. So I believe, but like, I don't think it's like what everybody says it is. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it because it's never happened to me before or since.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain the photo thing. It was fucking weird, right? That's creepy.
Yeah,
Like, it'd be in a movie.
I've heard a few people's stories of picture frames moving, and I'm like, these things didn't fall off; they were taken off, and it fucking weirds me out.
Mhm.
And I checked the cigarette to see if I'd blacked out and done it myself.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cigarette was still lit, and like it was where it was supposed to be.
I know in the scary moments of like, what's going on? Did I do this? Anytime I feel something weird, like I felt something weird tonight, I was walking out of the playroom and I was like, I just felt a presence, and I was just like, I just say stuff out loud. And you're like, okay, you're not allowed to be here unless you're nice. Actually, just get out of here. You're not allowed to be here. And then like now I think of like my power sigil to just like picture something that gives me strength, and
That's
it
what
just
I
takes my
had
mind
been
off of.
doing up until the photo thing.
Yeah.
When I found out that he had died there, and I always thought it was weird that the place could never get warm no matter what.
Hmm.
And I'd probably been sitting in the spot that he died in because there's
Maybe
only
the
one spot
place
to put
was.
the couch.
I was gonna say maybe the place was warm, but you couldn't get warm. He's just following you.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
What are you
Yeah,
doing in
because
my house?
all I did in that place was watch TV. Maybe he was possessing my ass. Like,
Could be. Did you feel compelled to watch certain programs and see them through?
no, but I had a dope projector that like took up the whole wall, so he was probably fucking pumped.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
know. I do think about ghosts watching TV, like some Victorian era ghost. What is this? Sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, what about Illuminati?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I think it exists, but it's probably dumb. Like I feel like they don't have the power they think they do, and it's just a bunch of guys sitting around drinking scotch in like a secret room.
But they are loaded though, right? They're like very wealthy.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Dude, you picture I don't know if this is just California, but the movie industry, if you listen to any old timer talk about even Michael Landon shows, like a really nice dude, just, everybody was loaded all day long.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was either drinking, it was so normal, or fucking doing blow. And now everybody's safe. We can't even have a rap party on the lot,
Wow.
But dude, everybody was just fucking loaded all the time. And I'm going like, when did drinking become illegal for work? Not too long ago.
Yeah.
I think for the history of advanced society, they've been fucking drunk the whole time.
It could be.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, that was status quo. Drink would they drink scotch at work, right? If you're in business, got to be in business.
Yeah, I mean, I had a boss that was from that era, and if stuff started to get real intense at work, he'd come running in at 11 a.m. and hand me a screwdriver, like a drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I mean, I would drink it, but I don't know how
Yeah.
to
Just
feel
chill
about
out and get through this day, okay? Here you go.
Yeah.
What?
I got you, man.
But then again, if I said like I got the flu, I just puked in the toilet, I got to go home, he'd say no, and he'd just hand me a bucket.
It's all generational.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're not leaving, bud. We need to be here. You can drink, but we're not fucking leaving.
Yeah.
What
Bring you
about
steak for breakfast?
What do you think of the multiverse? Do you believe in that?
Man, I really like thinking about that, but it kind of hurts my brain because theoretically, I mean, everything that I've heard or read about that works, right?
That's what blows me away. On paper, it can make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I mean, to any like just rational person, I guess you can explain it. I think it makes sense to most people that it should work.
So easy to laugh it off. And
Yeah.
then the paper backs it up. And then
Yeah.
shit's fucking crazy. Anyways.
It kind of, for me, that kind of goes full circle back to the alien question, right? Because usually it's a lot of the answer would be you believe that aliens exist because the universe is so big, and that it's the same with that simulation theory, that everything I've learned about that has to do with just an infinite universe, right? And so there should be infinite realities or other infinite universes. But I don't know. I think I said no last time, but that's the only reason why. It's not a hard no. It's just if I had to choose yes or no, I would say no because it's easier.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's like
I'm lazy. I'm lazy about my theories.
I've had years of not getting sleep thinking about death, and I've had years of not sleeping thinking about black holes. And I'm like, I don't fucking know anything about black holes. Why am I losing sleep over this?
That's great.
I'm pretty sure I saw the multiverse in its whole entirety when I smoked DMT.
You may have, man.
Yeah. I was an atheist before I did that shit. But I'm not religious in the way like of religion. I just now I have faith in some weird entity or some, not an entity like a single one, but like something's going on.
I agree.
Like I don't think it's a god that's going to judge me, and I think they give a shit about what anybody else does. I think that you get launched into something else. But yeah,
seems like it's all energy.
energy
What
that we
was
don't
that?
understand too. Like
Mhm.
when a lot of the ghost and paranormal poltergeist phenomena that I see, if you ever watch things that look real, it feels like an electromagnetic response. It feels like, like even when you see dishes flying out, it's like it's not somebody pulling a string. It's just like it's just energy that like
Hmm.
hits a spot,
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
like,
opposed to
but it's
a ghost picking up a plate and then throwing it. It's like, no, that's not
it's
what's
like
happening.
it's the, it's like displaced inertia or something that came from somewhere else. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
to go back to the multiverse thing, I recently saw a movie that actually did a pretty good job of animating kind of my experience with that. Did you see The Boy and the Heron, the
No.
No,
Miyazaki film?
I
Uh-uh.
haven't seen it.
Uh, it's a great cartoon. Miyazaki's that Japanese cartoon guy. He did like Spirited Away and
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke. A Boy and the Heron. Like there's a whole scene where it's like it kind of. I was like, oh, that's what I saw. Like, um,
Cool.
yeah. It was, yeah, that movie's nuts. That guy's definitely tripped on some stuff.
All
There's got
right.
to be
Well,
something to those similarities too, right? If you've
oh,
had
for
shared
Yeah.
sure.
those experiences and have the same descriptions of those experiences, I mean, you can't ignore that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I only did it once, like, well, I mean, I got to the one, I did it a few times, but then it takes a while to get to that point. And then I just
Hmm.
stopped because it was like, A, I didn't feel welcome. And B, it was like too much. Like, I don't know how dudes can just like do that on the weekend, be like, yeah, bro, like, you're like alcohol or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, it's insanity to me.
I'm just a visitor. I'm just
Yeah,
visiting other realms. And then I go back to my job.
right. Yeah.
Traveler.
All right, let's get into the topic. Well, first off, Blue, you're a 1, Pizza, you're a 4.
Sweet.
Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi, Breatharians, individuals who sustain themselves solely on air and sunlight, bypassing the need for food and water. Can this unique lifestyle choice work? Will we uncover the potential benefits and challenges it presents? Or will we stick to the American diet brought to you by the beef and dairy industry? Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi. Have you guys heard of breatharians before?
Never.
I have not. No.
I mean, this is one of those things where it kind of came around the 70s, but every time I've ever heard it, it's really easy to giggle at. Like, what are you talking about? You just breathe. You don't even really need water. But I forget the name of the book, but there was this book that came out in 1972 that just had all these different diet choices in it, and one of them was breatharian. And so the idea is that, like a plant, that sure, they use photosynthesis, but if you think about the energy that we get from food, it all comes from sunlight. So the closer you can get your food from the light source, the better the energy is for you that you take from it. And so you'll get more energy from plants than you do from animals that eat the plants. And so skip the plants and just go get the sun. So breatharians, sure, it's breathing in, and there's different versions of it out there.
No fucking.
Why
I'm
not?
looking at it right. I don't know. I'm just looking at it right now. It's abstinence too.
Well, there's definitely been a few cult versions out there, but ultimately you can get nutrients from the sun. It's not just vitamin D. There is energy that you can get from the sun. There hasn't been one version of this that actually really worked out for anybody. There's people that have claimed that they've done it for years, and as soon as they try to prove it with cameras, it falls apart. So there's definitely a lot of charlatans, a lot of cults going on, but I do believe in the power of getting energy from the sun. I feel like nobody's kind of done it right. Maybe they're trying to gain fame. Maybe they're like me. The reason why I think it works is because I'm kind of picking apart my own version.
Hmm.
Some people don't believe in vitamins. Like, you can't really get vitamins from a powdered form. You've got to get it from a food that has the vitamin in it. Your body's not going to break down a lot of the, oh, you want iron? I just use some sandpaper and sanded off this iron cannonball. Just eat some of that, get your iron.
Dude, did you go to their website?
No, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch out there. No, but what are you looking at?
They
You want
call
to
themselves humans, like HUE, man, like hue, like the hue of the sun. This is
Wow.
hilarious. It's got no security whatsoever. I had to like agree to like three different things before my browser would let me onto the website.
There's a knock at your door here in a second.
Yeah.
Huh?
What you looking at there, pizza?
It's just all these weird quotes like "you gotta stand up where you fall down," and we go, "Yeah, these people need to eat." This whole thing looks tired.
Your website looks so tired, man.
Yeah,
That's
like they
awesome.
didn't have enough energy to finish it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
What
Breatharian.com.
there's got to be like a happy medium, right? Where you can I mean, because you would die. Theoretically, you would die. You just would. You can't argue that you wouldn't die. But can't you practice like fasting? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's supposed to be like healthy for some people. I don't know.
I try to get like a 16-hour fast in between dinner and breakfast. For people that do fast, I mean, here's the thing, dude. All of our viewpoints are really coming from America, and we've just been brainwashed on so many things that we almost can't listen to anything. And so I will say a good parallel is there are a lot of like new vegans that don't get the proper nutrition. You can't just, I'm not saying it's not about quit eating meat. It's just you've got to find the nutrients like protein,
Yeah,
protein's
plant-based.
protein's a big one. I'm like, dude, and calcium, there's more calcium in broccoli than milk. So like you
Yeah.
shouldn't have any bone problems if you're eating. But one thing that has blown me away that I can't wrap my head around, and I know that this is a different topic, but I really want to get into it because I don't feel like picture the last time you were sick and how much you ate. And it's like I feel like when I get sick, I don't eat, and the food isn't what's helping me fight anything. And I think about the nutrition in America. I really don't think that you can just add cow poop onto some dirt and then these fruits and vegetables that are growing have the nutritional value that they say it has, because we have been growing the same shit over the same dirt for 50 years.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't it doesn't absorb the sun? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I get the soil piece, I do, but it's incorporate. You got to incorporate what's in the water, and then whatever you're feeding them, and the sun. It can't just be the soil.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but then
I
also then you get into all the pesticides and all that garbage too.
Yeah, including the pesticides, including the shelf life, all these things. I'm just going like, Timothy, you don't have kids, but me and Blue have kids, and it's just like when I try to think about a good meal for them to eat that has nutrition in it, that's not just, I'm just going like there aren't that many options.
Mm-mm. Not that they'll eat.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that they'll eat. That's the
Yeah.
caveat, and I'm like, fucking just eat something. Like Moose was sick. He recently got a big sick. He had RSV, and like,
Ugh.
I don't really feel like he ate for the whole week, and it was kind of freaking me out, going like, you should fucking eat something, man. Your body's fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Bree's been sick for 3 days and she'd barely eaten anything. And she stands up. She's like, I feel like I have to pass out because you haven't eaten anything, dum dum.
I know, dude.
I'm trying to find this TikTok. This guy lived for 120 days off Mike's Hard Lemonade.
That's amazing.
Well,
I know. I'm trying to find it. I can't
You
find
know,
the video.
part of this whole thing might just be how resilient our bodies really are.
Oh, sure.
Have you guys seen the Rockefeller explosion documentary?
No.
No.
So the Rockefeller fire explosion was the band that played at Showbiz Pizza, which was the precursor to Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese bought them out.
Hmm.
The whole reason why this documentary came about, this is a quick side tangent. This dude had the last working real set of the animatronics out there, and he would program them to play modern songs, and had a big YouTube channel.
Whoa.
Just some backwoods weirdo. I don't mean to judge him, but in the documentary, he just says this on the side. He's like, he starts drinking some Mountain Dew, and I don't know if they asked him a question or not, but he's like, oh yeah, the first time I tasted Mountain Dew, I was like, this is all I ever need to drink. And he says he hasn't drinking any water since he tried Mountain Dew. And it was at least 10 years, at least.
I think I did that in high school. I don't think I drank any water in high school.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
I'm like, to me, it's like it's going like, hey, the breatharians might have something here. This guy hasn't drinking. I'm sure there's water in Mountain Dew, but that's not how you get water. Your body's working
No,
hard to get rid of.
no, I drank a ton of Mountain Dew when I was a kid. I think I lived off more soda than water when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
me too. Fucking big
Yeah.
gulp,
Oh
couple
Mhm.
a
God,
day.
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Got
I,
ice in it.
I, we all kind of teach ourselves things, and for some reason, I just thought there was nothing really wrong with soda other than the sugar, or whatever. I was drinking a 12 pack a day easy for decade.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's so much. That's amazing.
Fuck,
Amazing.
That's a
people
lot
I
of
think.
chugging pop, chugging beer.
Well, you're talking about how the body's so resilient. I mean, I think maybe more often than not, it probably just adapts to your diet and you survive, and that's just kind of your baseline, right? And you don't know that you might feel different if you change up what your intake looks like. I don't know. My diet's terrible, man. It's
I
so bad, and I get no exercise like at all.
same.
And I'm tired a lot, but then sometimes I'm not. So I mean, I don't know. It's easy to blame it on that, but I can't pinpoint it and say it's 100% related to my diet. I mean, it could be so many things, right? It could be your mental health, it could be your day-to-day, just your physical activity, just what that looks like.
Yeah.
You need something to look forward to. I think if you have something to look forward to, it doesn't matter what you're doing,
Yeah,
but if you
that's a good
don't have
point.
anything, yeah, if you don't have like a vacation set up or like a goal for something, then you're just kind of treading water. And I think that's when you start to get out of shape and get bad mental health. Cause like I've been like really, really focused on like my live show. And I've been like throwing all my money at Christmas and like this company Behringer, they started buying up all or started stealing everybody else's synthesizer stuff and recreating it really cheap. So I've been
Mm,
buying all these like cheap synthesizers that work really great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're like $100. To buy them new, like a new original one, it would be like 1,000 or like 700.
wow.
And like, yeah, it's great. And I've literally been living off fucking Trader Joe's pot stickers because they're $3 a bag, and one bag will last me a whole day. And
Nice.
and I've been doing that and the fucking one bottle of the blood orange soda, and I feel great. I feel great.
Yeah.
Like,
That's funny, dude. I would say that most of my life, my diet has just purely been addiction based. A
yeah, me
quote that
too.
I've always said is like, if I eat a meal that doesn't have cheese, it better have eggs because I like those are the things that like make me work. And I when I think of my diet my whole life, I'm going like, how much of it really contributes to the health of me? I'd say my body's fighting off trying to get the shit out of me that I ate. Um, but
You're goal driven too. You've got your show, you've got you're always looking ahead.
I right now, I mean, as I'm getting older, my diet has changed to trying to adjust to hangovers.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
and so, like, I think I cracked the code, man. I spray magnesium oil on my feet, goes
What
right in
the
your
fuck are you
bloodstream.
talking about?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like most hangovers come from lack of magnesium and zinc kind of thing somehow. So I spray magnesium oil on my feet.
I get that from silver spray paint.
Yeah. Dude, I get off work at 8:30 in the morning and then I drink either a half pint or a pint of vodka. And then I send a bunch of texts that I'm gonna regret later. And
Oh,
then
dude,
and then I eat a bunch of pot stickers and go to bed.
dude, try the
Um,
magnesium oil. I also get some, electrolytes in a bottle that it's the stuff they put in Gatorade. It tastes like one drop tastes like a fucking salt block.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I put drops of those and I put some apple cider vinegar and some oregano oil and just chug that and then drink too much water because nobody's getting enough water. Ice quick coffee. I drink cacao powder with some coconut oil in it.
Yeah.
And I'm going like I feel like I don't have hangovers anymore and I feel healthier than I've ever felt my whole life just from adding these things. And
Yeah.
then I also take borax and I don't have arthritis anymore, dude.
laundry detergent?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. He's got a really clean mouth. You should we should
He's like a golden retriever.
we should bottle this up and sell it. What are you gonna suspend it in? you could suspend it in alcohol, and then you could get drunk and not get a hangover.
Ooh, dude, vitamin beer, vitamin
Yeah,
vodka.
right. They have like caffeine protein shakes and stuff now.
We should go like Alex Jones style and make the podcast 7 hours long and just have synth music underlying that's really hypnotic. And he'd be like, you really need to get your vitamins. Uh,
We just circle back to it. There's
yeah. It's
so many
vitamin powder. Yeah.
so many callbacks to vitamin powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's fucking classic.
Well,
wait, why do you spray it on your feet?
it goes right in your bloodstream. Your feet has the biggest pores. Like your skin is like a mouth, and
Yeah.
your feet has got the biggest pores on it. So like if you look at this is a bad parallel example, whatever, but like in Vietnam, they couldn't they didn't want to smoke too much or chew tobacco because the enemy would find them. So they would just put tobacco in their socks
And under
and
their ball sack.
yeah. Right. No, I don't know about the ball sack, but definitely put them in their shoe, and then they'd catch buzzes from the tobacco going into their feet.
I don't know. Maybe that's why there's the weed cock ring that I have.
Yep.
Oh, maybe it's supposed to dissolve in your
Yeah,
guts.
maybe it'd be dissolved into my balls.
Yep. That's a really small hole, Tim.
It stretches out. It stretches.
It looks like a quarter inch. It looks like an eighth inch fender washer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, it stretches. It does.
It stretches out, I promise.
It does. Here, let me show
You
you.
just got, yeah. You just got to talk to it real nice.
You should write that down, Willie, and email it to some people. I'll try it.
Yeah. Well, I keep telling everybody about the borax. My arthritis. I've had knee problems my whole life. My arthritis was so bad that I needed the knee replacement. And all of
Yeah.
our friends are getting knee replacements, and they don't really work out for people.
Sure.
And so
Oh, dude,
the
I broke my
borax,
knee last year.
Oh,
the borax
Fucked
is
up.
like spongy, and I feel like it regrows your cartilage. I went from not being able to walk for 3 months to playing basketball. I've been playing basketball for a year and a half now.
At the end of my knee thing, I was like still walking with a cane. One night I went over to Eli's Bar and Grill and got hammered. And I was walking home and I fell into a hole and whacked my knee. And it was fine. I didn't need my cane. I didn't limp anymore. It just like knocked it right back into place. My wife was like, "You're full of shit." And I'm like, "Where's my cane?" And
nice.
she's like, "Oh yeah, you don't have
Where's
a
my cane? Jump in the air,
Yeah.
tap your heels together.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Can I do a tangent and ask Blue a question? It's
Yeah.
just because your name's Blue and my last name's Pizza. How bad do
Yes.
people fuck with you? I just got to know because I get it daily. Do you still get it?
When I was a little kid, I got it daily, and in grade school, and it was in grade school. It was, and I don't know why kids thought this was mean, but they say like, "Oh, Bluebird, Bluebird." I'm like,
That's
that's
dope. I like that.
it's dumb, dude. Like if you're trying to be mean to someone, like bully them. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like
I mean, why do they do Little Boy Blue or like
right.
Yeah.
That was early 80s, and then in early 90s in middle school was Blue Balls, and that was cool. I like that one. And then in high school wasn't really anything. And then after college, Old School came out, and to this day I probably hear that once a week. Like people see my ID, yeah, they constantly.
I'm in the same boat because my name's Willie, and I just feel like a lot of people aren't that quick, and I don't mean to judge them, but like they hear something and then they're just like, oh. So like most of my life, I'd say, "Hi, I'm Willie." People would just go, "Oh, Free Willie."
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you
God.
thinking of this? Are you watching your brain think of like, why would you say that to me? It's not funny. It's not a joke. Like, what are you doing? I'm just watching you react to hearing my name.
But the
Free
best
Willy.
part is the pile on, and then like the other kids around are like, "Oh yeah, man, Free Willy, there's Free Willy." And they're like, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
Bluebird, Free Willy? Come on."
There's this guy at my work, and his name's Joe Cotton. And anytime somebody's talking about him, I go, "Where'd he come from? Where'd he go?" And nobody gets it. Like they don't. I guess because they're like they haven't heard the song or something, and they just look at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But
Do you know who wrote that song?
no.
Andy Griffith wrote that song.
Are you fucking
What?
kidding me?
No, my mom heard me listen to that in whenever that came out, the dance mix or whatever, and she goes, "Oh, that's an Andy Griffith song." And I looked it up, sure enough.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's fucking hilarious. So Ron
Dude,
Howard has experienced both versions.
he's been
it's
around for
like
both versions.
it's like Ducky from NCIS wrote that Dr. Dre song.
Oh, what
Uh,
song?
the fucking big one that came off 2000. Hold on, I'll look it up.
The
Still
Chronic.
Dre, maybe.
Oh.
The one with the piano line.
Blam, blam, blam,
Uh,
blam, 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 blam,
yeah,
blam,
that
blam,
one.
blam,
Oh,
blam,
that's
I'll
blam,
look it up.
blam.
amazing. What?
Yeah,
Tim, my middle name is River too, so
Blue River. That's dope. You got
yeah,
hippie parents.
big time.
Nice.
Are they still hippies? Or have they
Yeah.
succumbed to capitalism?
The
No,
next
far
episode.
from that. My dad's on a weird kick right now, like so anti-capitalism.
We should have him on the
Yeah,
show.
he
I
wrote.
can
Yeah,
bitch
he
about
wrote the next
capitalism all the time.
episode.
The next episode. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who Ducky is.
He was the coroner.
To me, Ducky is from 16 Candles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ducky was great. Yeah. Did you watch NCIS?
No,
I never did watch it. I mean, I'm sure I saw a couple episodes.
I leave it on when I'm working because there's like a million of them. So
let me jump into so first off, there was this one of the most famous guys from the Breatharians was Wiley Brooks. He was on like That's Incredible or something like that, and and he was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for 17 years, even though it hadn't been 17 years since this book had come out in 1972." They found proof of food in his room, and he was like, "Nah, I get food from my friends." But so some people think that he was like always sneaking food from 7-Eleven just to have food late night so people couldn't find him eating. Have you guys heard of prana and manna?
I've heard of manna.
Like manna's in the Bible. It was basically it was the Israelites were given food from the gods, and they would make bread out of it, and it was just this amazing. I don't know, it helped them survive in the desert for a long time. That's old Bible. The new version of it is people think that it is your communion. If you take in blessed food, that can help you get nourishment. And I believe in prayer. I always bless my water out of my water filtration system, and
That's what the filter is for.
So one idea, scientists think that these stories of manna were actually them finding desert lichen, just really high nutrient rich moss, basically. A fringe theory is that some people think that all of these ancient megalithic societies actually were aware of cymatics and three-dimensional energy that is just around us all the time, and they could capture that energy and use it. So like, I say this all the time, a lot of the old cathedrals have these big stained glass patterns, and they're finding now that these stained glass patterns, it's the cymatic sound energy of the bell from that church. And this is more modern than some of these ancient societies, but they're finding that a lot of these old structures are harnessing energy from the atmosphere. So one idea is that what manna was like electromagnetically charged food. So they were basically like putting energy into their food, and that gave them more, not only nutrients. I don't know. I don't really know. Nutrients is a weird thing because our whole body is chemical, and I know that they know how everything works, but we are electrical beings, and so maybe we just need energy, and that energy can also break down into feeding us chemically. This is me speculating and talking, and out of all the things that I've learned, looked at, or whatever, I do think that we can survive off of getting energy more than nutrients, because like I said, most of our diet has no nutrition anyways, and we're doing fine.
So the keystone is how to harness it though, right? And how to absorb it. I just have this like mental picture in my head of healers, people that I just have this pictures of someone like hovering their hands over someone that's sick or whatever, or injured, and they're like doing a mantra or a chant or something, and that mysteriously heals them, like doing like the same type of thing to get that energy into food or whatever. But still, then you still have to consume something, right? But maybe it's consumed at a way smaller volume.
totally. Like we
Yeah,
barely need anything.
I was going to a kinesiologist for a while, a long time ago, and I think that's where I heard about this stuff. They would like touch you along your stomach and weird things to see how you'd react, and then they'd figure out your diet that way.
Like I do think we have an electrical
Wow.
field of energy. Even though this guy, a lot of people think he's a fraud. This Wiley Brooks, he was saying that you should only eat yellow food. And I'm like, why? Because it has a vibration to it that's healthy for you. If
Yeah, it
the
was
world
alive.
is vibrational sound energy, like I do believe that that
Oh,
specific
sure. Yeah, yeah,
linens
yeah.
have a vibrational energy to it that's healing. And so I have linen blankets that I sleep with all the time, or if I feel sick, at any rate. And organic cotton is good, but like I do believe that certain vibrational things that we wear make us not feel as good. Like fucking polyester. Polyester is just plastic, and that can affect our energy field.
Yeah,
Make,
if anybody hasn't listened to that episode, that was a really good one. I remember when you guys talked about that, and I made it a point. Even Wade, the skeptic Wade, reached out because we sell a lot of fabric and t-shirts and stuff, and he reached out to see where he could get some linen t-shirts after you guys did that episode.
right. Hemp was good too. I don't want to say this was all like I blame it all on DuPont and Rockefeller. America was built on hemp and linen. That's all that anybody grew everywhere. And then they just switched crops from some big corporation thing, and hemp went out the door, even though it benefited society in a million ways.
Yeah.
And linens too. So we buy French linen. I don't know what kind of linen they even make in America. And you can buy something on Amazon that says linen, you get it, and it's not linen at all.
Oh, yep, absolutely. I need to ask Wade if he ever found any tea, because I'd like to try that. But you talking about the energy and everything, right? Our brains, I mean, it's scientifically proven that our brains are powered by electricity. That's what makes our bodies do stuff, is electrical signals.
Some ley lines.
Yeah, you guys
out
talked
there.
about that too. That's right.
Yeah, and
this
so
would ley
in the
lines
same
ley
vein,
lines would fit in perfectly with all this.
picture the water, right? That's the other thing. Old world water was a million times better because it came from the ground, and a lot of the religious sites were supposedly built on ley lines. And if you look at the old temples, they were built on older temples, and they were all underneath. Most of them is where they get water from.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're drinking fucking gold mineral water and eating fucking desert moss, like that might be the only thing you need.
I mean, I don't even think that's an argument that anybody needs to make these days, that our ancestors, I don't know if they were a lot healthier, but I would assume that they were, but that their intake was healthier, right? I don't know, unless they ate some really weird shit. But for the most part, I mean, I don't think anybody really would argue that. But it is interesting to think about where that intake happened. I'd be curious to see where the healthiest populations were 1,000, 2,000 years ago, where the healthiest people were, and if it corresponded with ley lines and magnetic fields, or what that looked like. That'd be really neat to find out.
Right. And so like one thing that I've been looking into lately is aging, the elixir of life and the water of life. And they say that where aging comes from is the powerhouse of the cell. It's the mitochondria. So if you can somehow get your mitochondria to not like fucking overburn themselves and burn out, like you won't age. And like we might be close to figuring that out.
That's why zombies don't die, because they eat mitochondria.
When I was in college,
mitochondria.
Oh man, I forgot about this. When I was in college, there was this art exhibit that was on the way to my math class. And they left it up for a couple months, and you'd go in this room, and in the center of the room, there was a little table and a chair, and there was this box, and there's these two metal prongs on the box in a style. But like, it started out like it just said pain, and then it said like more pain, and then it said like a lot of pain, and then there was one more, and it just said death. And you put your fingers on the thing, and it would shock you. I got it all the way up to, I was too scared to do the one that said death, but I would go all the way up to the one right before death, and it would knock my arms back when I did it. Like, and it got to the point where I didn't drink coffee before class. I would just go shock myself before math class, wake up, and then I'd like go to class, and I'd feel great for the whole class.
Wow. That's
but
there's
then
something
they
to
eventually
it.
took it down. Yeah.
That's great.
Electric,
Yeah.
what do they do for mental health in extreme cases? Electroshock therapy.
I wonder
You
if they
know,
still do that. They probably still
I
do.
I think they do. It's probably a lot more controlled, but I think they do because it has something to do with the brain working
Some
as a
kind of like
computer, kind of like a
reset,
reset. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
equivalent to, pounding your computer when it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three finger
Yeah.
salute.
I kind of feel like psychedelics do that. Like psychedelics kind of defrag your brain out, like a Windows 95 PC, like the defrag thing that you had to do like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like when I think of all the ways that I am not healthy and brainwashed and whatever, I'm just going like, yeah, I microdose. I try to microdose a lot because I'm like, I do feel like there's a resetting happening. I know I don't have as much anxiety as I've had my whole life, and I have more
Yeah.
things to be anxious about now.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I mean, after so many years of therapy, I don't know if I can dwell on anything anymore. And I don't think that was, I mean, I tried, like the antidepressant SSRI things, and none of that shit worked. But the thing that did work was this shit called like cognitive behavioral therapy, which is just basically them asking you questions kind of like a lawyer does or a police interrogator until you realize yourself that you're being a dumbass for thinking about the things that you're thinking about.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
repeat to me again what you thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know,
you
it's funny.
flick the light switch 4 times and the world doesn't explode, but if you flick it 5 times,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking about licking batteries, like how much I like it.
yeah,
I
The
still do it every
the
now and then.
yeah.
9 volt batteries, and like when I think about it, I get that flavor in my mouth, and I'm going like, oh, that's good. I'm like,
Could you
Well,
see one and not lick it?
the only
I
reason
have
why
to
I
because I put
can
on my
now is because
guitar
I have
pedals. I'm going to see if it
friends.
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
Oh
That's how I
yeah,
right.
test them to see if they work.
Yeah. If there's one sitting somewhere, like,
You have to lick it.
I have to, dude. It's
Yeah.
impossible not to. I would
Yeah.
challenge anyone that's done it to not lick it.
Yeah. Did you used to jam your knuckles in your eyeballs till you saw fireworks?
No,
Mine
I
are
think I
always
just rubbed them really hard.
I would do
Yeah.
rubbing, but mine are always very bright purple, and I'm like, why is this purple? Purple stars. I still do
Yeah.
it almost every day. I'm like, why am I seeing purple stars?
Yeah.
Don't listen to me about
I
anything.
don't know. It feels good sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say in the vein of not listening to me, there have been people that have died from trying this diet. But I will say in defense of that, there are people that die from eating the regular American diet.
Yeah.
But
But I feel
I'm
like
not saying
there's no direction, right? I mean, there's no like map or anything. It's like here's
You
some
just don't eat.
yeah, it's like there's not even like even real basic guidelines. It's kind of like go figure it out. I mean, well, I don't know. I'm sure there's workshops and stuff out there that you
and
can
watch
find,
out.
but
I'm going to keep saying it. Watch out for cults, but
oh sure. Yeah. That's when they
Oh,
get you when you're
this guy
tired and
looks
hungry.
sketchy as fuck. I was looking at pictures of him a minute ago.
I will say though, the craziest thing that I've been looking into of late is the whole world does parasite cleanse. In America, we just don't admit that there are bad parasites. Like, basically you'll find out from a doctor if you have a parasite. But, when I hear about, of course, candida, just something in your gut that like really craves sugar. I'm like, dude, anybody who has a sweet tooth, has a sweet tooth, pretty much anybody who's tried sugar,
Yeah.
there were certain parasites that crave certain foods, and you think it's you craving it, but it's them starving, going like, you need fucking sugar, you need fucking sugar. Of course, the sweet tooth too, it's good, it's addictive. Like we've got bright colors and fancy chemicals that we're addicted to. But I think about, like, I've been doing parasite cleanses, like light ones. I don't want to do a full blown one because at some point, if you do, some of them can be harmful, because if you try to starve it out, then what these parasites do is they piss and shit in you, and it really is toxic to you. So you have to kill them. At any rate, like I said, the world does a parasite cleanse once a year, and like no one I know in America has even thought about a parasite cleanse. I'm fucking healthy, but I'm like, dude, we're filled with parasites. One of the things I do is eat raw walnuts on an empty stomach and pumpkin seeds. Like both of those are good at
I ate raw
getting everything.
sunflower seeds.
Kills
You
the
got to do
bugs.
you got to do walnuts and pumpkin seeds on an empty stomach. Wormwood, if you can eat wormwood.
I read about a guy that did this earlier tonight, and his big sales pitch to promote it was that you save so much money on food, like on groceries. That was his entire argument. He's like, you should do it because we've saved thousands of dollars on groceries.
That's
right?
great. That's
So
a
when
great
they
cause.
do they get to a point where they have to eat something, what do they eat?
This guy ate a piece of fruit 3 times a week, I think. And
No
and
fucking way.
and I think this guy drank water too, but I don't know how much. But he said he ate a piece of fruit 3 times a week.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. I did this one
No,
thing called 75 Hard. Have you heard of this guy?
75 what?
Hard.
Huh.
So it's like you get this guy's app. He's a fucking tool, but you get his app. I didn't know what he looked like, and then when I saw him, I regretted. I was like 65 days in until I actually looked up what this guy looked like. But he's a meathead. Anyways, I was doing this thing. It's called 75 Hard. It's 75 days long. Every day you have to do one 45-minute cardio thing, another 45-minute exercise, but it can be like something mellow, like stretching or a walk outside. One of them has to be outdoors. You have to drink a gallon of water, no alcohol, go on some sort of diet. Mine was I gave up candy and soda. And then the last thing is you had to take a picture of yourself like shirtless and put it in the app. And if you were like 25 days in and you forget to do one of those things, you start over at day one. So I think I wound up doing it for about 180 days. I kind of get it because I didn't eat a lot. I felt great while I was doing it, but it was so hard. I mean, a gallon of water is fucking hard. Like, if you
Yeah.
forget to do it, then you're just chugging all this water, then you can't sleep because you're pissing your brains out all
I
night.
know, dude.
Did you
Yeah.
do you think that how good you felt outweighed like the hassle of going, that strict regiment?
No.
I've never felt really good off
Yeah,
of
no.
anything that I've done. Like even all the things that I was
Yeah.
saying I was doing, you know what? I don't have hangovers, but I don't feel better for taking any of this stuff. You know,
Sure.
I don't feel a
Right.
change, but I definitely have energy. But with all of this stuff, I do believe that we get more from UV light and sunlight. They say a UV light is bad. I don't buy it. All this, like we can't be humans that like can't survive from sitting in the sun. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just saying, like, I do think we get more than just vitamin D from the sun. I think that we get energy. We get healing energy from the sun.
If we could
I think
photosynthesize, then it'd be different, but we can't.
these guys wouldn't make it in Seattle.
No, it's a great point.
No. You have to be in like Arizona.
That's a great point.
You don't find big ancient megalithic structures in terrible places that you shouldn't live, like Oregon.
Dude, I mean, when you started the topic, I just had so many questions, and now it's so strange to me. Do they poop? Do they pee?
Well, that's the thing. The whole
do
point
they
of it
need
is
teeth? Do they practice oral hygiene?
like you don't need to poop or pee that much, right? And I'm like, oh gosh, I honestly would love to change my diet to affect my pooping and peeing, like, but
I know, dude. What if you pooped once a month?
Yeah,
Like
That'd be
one
amazing.
time a month?
Yeah.
I've
How
always
much time would that free up?
in my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like, man,
Anytime I
can't wait.
start anything, I gotta go. The second I get into something, I gotta go. I'm like,
Dude, I
fucking
can't-
Christ.
I can't even listen. I can sleep fine if I didn't have to pee.
Yeah.
I like wake up in the middle of the night and I'll just get up and scroll because I'm like, well, I had to fucking pee. I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking haven't been
That's
seeing
a
that
getting
well.
old thing. I pee so much now, dude. It's crazy.
I think my body creates water because I didn't drink anything yesterday and I was peeing all fucking night while I was sleeping. I'm like, where is this coming from? I was so like, I sat at the computer, like I got into one of those hyper focus, like ADHD things and sat at the thing working on a song for like, I think 9 hours. And the only thing I put into my body, I smoked a joint and then I got back to it. And like that was the only thing I ingested. Like,
See, weed to me, like I love weed, but every time I do it, every time I do the weed, um, I feel like my body's squeezing every last bit of water out of me. It's like, oh, yeah, okay.
your mouth gets all dry. You're like, yeah.
That's funny.
3 pieces of fruit a week. I don't know. I don't know if I believe
Yeah.
them. I feel like they're all sneaking shit.
Yeah, right. That's the first thing I thought
Yeah.
too. It's like you can't, I mean, there's just no way. I mean, I'm gonna segue. I have a unique perspective on this because my son has had a G tube. He's 8 now, and he's been tube fed formula since he was 8 months old. And when he was 3 months old, he had an NG tube, which is the one that goes into your nose, and we fed him formula that way. He's never been able to eat. He just can't eat. Mentally, he's just not there yet. He can't quite figure it out. But he's always been on different formulas, right? And the one he's on now, all the protein is plant-based, and then there's vitamins in the formula. He gets 3 feeds a day. That's all liquid. And then for the past few years, he's been able to eat more by mouth, right? And then ideally, best case scenario, what we're shooting for is to transition him over to, all solid food and stuff so that we can take the G tube out and he doesn't need that anymore. But
I wonder if you're like if that technology could ever get mixed with like a diabetic's insulin pump and it could figure out if he was hungry or not and then G tube him a little.
oh dude, I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure because they can read your blood sugar, they can do all that stuff in real time, right? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
My mom has the pump. It's kind of amazing. Yeah.
for the insulin or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, it's nuts. So it says, oh, I should go. It's like a pacemaker, dude. It says, all right, I should fire up now.
That sounds great. You just have like a thing. You don't have to worry about food ever. It just automatically
It
keeps you
might
going.
just be some annoying noise. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm eating. Yeah.
Pardon me, I'm eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, and before we knew that was an issue, right? It took us 3 months after he was born, and he just got super skinny. He was like the skinniest baby you'd ever seen.
Oh, scary.
And yeah, and so he would have died. Obviously, he would have died. So I can't understand. And he had a huge team of people around him, like throwing him positive energy, sending him thoughts and prayers, everything else. But ultimately, what saved him is getting food.
Yeah. So
getting a tube
Wiley,
into his stomach.
Wiley Brooks would be like, "Yeah, just put him out with sun."
I know, right?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we saw him first, and we didn't agree. We said, no, that's not going to work. So, I mean, they have these forms, and Willie, you've talked before about, God, wouldn't it be great if they had a pill that you could take instead of eating food?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is probably the closest thing that exists out there to that, where it's just a formula-based diet and everything's in liquid form, and it just goes straight from a bag, just from gravity, just drips right into his stomach. It's a huge inconvenience. I mean, I don't think I'd ever want that for myself, but full circle, I mean, just focusing on the nutrients part, like, I mean, I have to believe that you can't live without sustenance. Like tangible stuff that you can pour and measure and like know what's in it versus energy and, sun energy and air. I just can't see it. I just can't see how that could work.
I have to agree with you, and I will say for anybody who does want to try this diet, I definitely would say that like be aware of the minerals in your water, and also, even though breatharians in the definition, like you don't need water, like just drink mineral water the whole time. Like, don't prove anything by not having water. Get some fucking mineral water, like. But if you're trying to cut back on, I'm going like I could eat a third of what I eat and I'd be fine. I'd be the same.
I bet we all could. Yeah, I bet we all could. And go to their website, their shitty website, and sign their disclaimer so that you can't sue them.
I know, right? I'm going like whoever owns that website is probably a troll. Like there's no consensus on on the breatharians. I think there's a bunch of different versions of it, and a lot of people that have tried it, that have the people that have died from it, they eventually start coughing up like black stuff, and they're like if you ever get to that point, like get some nutrients. But I'm going like, I do think that gold mineral water is something that just doesn't really exist anymore. And a lot of the nutrient rich foods that used to exist can exist now because of all of these things. And I also don't believe any entity that's telling you what to eat, because they're bought out by corporations. And, like they still, no matter what we learn, they still say that calories matter more than it's all calorie count. I'm going like, what the fuck are the calories you're getting?
The consensus is fuel is fuel, but it's really not.
Sometimes I'll like work a crazy ass like 2-3 day shift, and then when I wake up from like like also during the shift I'll sleep like 3 hours here and there. When I get off
wait,
shift,
you gotta tell Blue what you do. His no.
Yeah.
Oh, I dispatch tugboats to oil tankers when they come into port.
Oh wow.
So how long are your shifts?
That's awesome.
How long are your shifts?
Right now, they're actually sort of short. They're one's 48 hours and one's 56. Yeah, if you ever come to the city, I'll show you a tugboat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the boats are pretty fucking
48-hour shift.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's
it's fucking awesome though. I love my office. I love all the fucking people. It's pretty cool. It's like high energy. I think at this point, like I don't think I could work like a retail or like a coffee shop. I need like fucking giant piece of metal floating in the ocean that I'm stressing out about to get me out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like consequences, right? I mean, it's a lot of responsibility. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I was going back to the energy thing a little bit, and remember a couple months ago, I don't know if the guy was right or if he was having a mental break, but he was that actor, but he also claims to be like a scientist too. He was on that show.
Terrence Howard. He was on Rogan, and he's talking about all this. Terrence Howard has some patents out there of some crazy technology. He definitely is a self-educated.
Some of the shit was so legit, and some of it was so wrong.
He's
like,
in the
where would I know him from?
In the Iron Man movie, he was the first.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He got replaced by Don Cheadle.
Yeah. What's that? Hustle and Flow, dude, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's always been like a self-created scientist, and he has, look up the patents that he has. He's a bunch of cool fucking.
No, I did back in the day. And he said this one thing, and he was like, it kind of blew my mind. It was so poetic. He was like, if you think of two waves crashing in the ocean and the little pieces of the water that fly off that's energy right there. That's electricity being created and shit like that. And I'm like, are there tiny explosions and waves crashing? Or maybe it was a metaphor. I don't know. But there was something about the way the guy talks that like I could listen to him talk all day.
Yeah, he's a smart dude. It's funny because like the relationship with Joe Rogan is he's like, oh, it's fucking right wing, like political, like don't. But like he has great guests on, and I only listen to episodes where the guests are amazing, and he has a bunch of amazing guests. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on? I know we've kind of been doing that. I just want to make sure you're not missing anything. You want to say anything else about the breatharians?
I think it's hokey. I think it's dumb to call. I mean, if you got a diet that's like you only eat 3 pieces of fruit a week, that's fine. You don't need to be a breatharian.
Right? That's what I'm saying. The definition. That's why I'm like, hey, forget about breatharians. Drink some fucking water. Like,
yeah. Like, relax, buddy. Get it.
Come up with your own.
Yeah,
but
I bet they're so pissy. Just they're not. Do you think they're happy people? I mean, their blood sugar's got to be so low. Like,
yeah, I can't imagine they'd be any fun to be around at all.
All they do is tell you everything you're doing wrong. What'd you have for breakfast? Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Asking you, are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat that? Why do you want it? No.
No, I gave that up a long time ago, but I wouldn't mind watching you eat it.
I wonder if I would like to. I would like to taunt them with my famous short ribs. I bet you they would eat my short ribs. I make some killer short ribs. I bet they would eat them.
I'd watch a show about that, tempting the breatharians.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's what we
dude,
should. That's how we make money. We should start a reality show where we go and we get
dude,
different people that have hardcore beliefs, and we taunt them with their
fuck, dude, you just tempt them. It's like
the
who wants to
temptations,
be a millionaire that has a weird fucking belief?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think,
and we know that none of them can win, so we don't need to have the $1 million.
yeah,
No.
the temptation or whatever, and you just find these odd groups of people or unique, we'll call them unique groups of people, and go out. And it would it be undercover, Tim, or do you do it like, do they know what's going on?
We got to separate them first so they can't.
It's the equivalent of a prank show that takes itself seriously.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between like the casting couch and the cooking show.
That's awesome. I think they're cheaters. Yeah, I think it's scientifically impossible.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think that there's some truth to getting energy from the sun. I do agree with you. Like, honestly, get some fucking gold mineral water and eat a few things that are good for you.
Eat some Oreos, man.
And also, maybe I'm not fully against aiming your butthole at the sun. Have you heard of people that do that?
No, to bleach it.
No. To get energy, to get sun energy. There are people
That's
that
amazing.
Like, aim their butthole at the sun. I'm like, oh, what do you call that? Brown stargazing?
Brown stargazing.
Oh man,
shove it up your ass.
But I don't know if we'll ever actually figure out the nature of our reality and how things actually work. I know that we like can observe things like, hey, there's actually electrical signals here. Hey, actually, this works here like this. I don't know if we'll ever actually figure out how it works, but I don't think that we have it figured out. And I don't think I ever needed to eat a burger again, but I had a chili cheeseburger from Wiener Schnitzel today. And so,
oh man, that sounds amazing.
I'm like, man, that's pretty good. And if I'm addicted to these flavors that are bad for me, damn it, I'm addicted to nostalgia that was bad for me too. You know what I mean? Transformers weren't trying to make me feel good. They're trying to take my money. Everybody's trying to take your money.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you for listening. You can find Timothy Pizza Sound Became Color, all of his stuff. Follow his Instagram, find him on SoundCloud. What else, Pizza? Where else can people find you?
Spotify, iTunes. We got a cassette release coming out soon. That's gonna side up with the video that Willie made. So you actually be able to have a physical copy. The tape, you got tape players.
Yeah, I'm working on a music video for this song. We're using AI because I'm like, dude, like,
it's so good. It's so good.
It's pretty fun, but we're also going to have a giveaway of a cassette when this comes out too.
Yeah, number one. It'll be they're hand numbered. I said I'm giving the number one Sound Became Color, The Death of Hope tape to Real Life Sci-Fi, and we're gonna find a way for you guys to win it.
That's awesome. It's hard for me to give away a number one because I'm a collector. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we should give away two.
Yeah, you better check the authenticity. I feel like he's gonna find a way to dub it.
Number one on all of them. I probably sell more if I write number one on all of them.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna write number one on all of them. I should have had them print that on there. God,
right?
1 out of 100. Yeah. 1 out of 3. And there's a million of them that say that. 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
I never. It was just a marketing thing. I never confirmed it.
I should
That's on you,
for
man.
Shirts.
Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna have to get your info from Willie. I might do that later this week.
Yeah, we'll hook you up.
OTVshirts.com.
OTVshirts.com.
Cool.
Blue started in the room that he's in right now, and he turned into a big old company. They did the Broncos Super Bowl shirts last time they won the Super Bowl. It was in the newspaper. They do quality stuff. Even the Broncos use them.
Even the Broncos. Thanks, Willie.
Like the OJ Bronco?
The OJ Bronco. Yeah. We lost our contract with Ford in the late 90s.
Willie, plugging anything?
Oh, thanks for asking. Just really bad movies. I'm eventually going to come out with. I think I need to make an actor Instagram for myself. I think that's what I need to do next. I don't know what it's called yet. It's probably Willie Roberts. Watch out for that. Because I got to post all the shit that I've been in. Like people don't even fucking know. Dude, the guy that was picking up our dumpster today recognized me from the Netflix show. He's like, "Hey, did you just have your truck redone?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Oh,
You
that's
were on a
awesome.
Netflix show?
Yeah, it was called Resurrected Rides. You can look up the episode. The episode's called Ranger.
I'm gonna watch that when we're done here.
Me too. What's the show again?
Resurrected Rides. It's basically the reboot of Pimp My Ride, but this one has Chris Redd from SNL. He's hosting it.
Oh, cool.
Pretty good show.
Awesome.
Bumped
The
up my
last horror thing you
IMDb
were in
star
was great.
meter pretty good. What's that?
I saw some horror movie with you in it. That was good. I liked it.
Yeah, the Nexus, that was on Prime Video. I was in a short. These guys made 6 shorts and they all had a budget of under $1,000 and some good, fun, creative horror stuff. They're trying to do bigger things. And yeah, I got to play a couple parts in this short. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Do you know what the short was called, Willie?
It was called Companion. So the Nexus has 6 shorts, and the episode was called Companion. Hey, everybody out there! Thank you for listening. Thanks for being with us. Let us know what you think about the Breatharians. If you're going to try something out in this realm, let me know. I'll help you out. I'll join you. I might do a little bit. I don't need to eat eggs or cheese every day.
And when you're done, come over. I'll make you some ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Real life sci-fi.